Hello, my friend. Welcome to a moment of peace, a little escape just for you. Tonight, we're leaving behind the rush of the day, the hum of the world, and stepping into a place where time slows down. Imagine a soft, sandy beach under a starlit sky, where the ocean sings a lullaby and the moon glows like a lantern, waiting to listen to your heart. This is a story to cradle you, to wrap you in calm, and to guide you gently towards sleep. So find a cozy spot, let your eyes grow heavy, and come with me to Silver Cove, where the night is kind and dreams are just a breath away. There's a young woman named Clara, 26 years old, with eyes that catch the light like sea glass and a heart woven from colors and dreams. She's the head of graphic design at a bustling firm in Manhattan, where days melt into nights of glowing screens, endless emails, and clients who want the impossible by dawn. Clara loves her work, the way a blank canvas blooms under her fingers, the way a single line can tell a story. But lately that spark feels dim, buried under the weight of deadlines and the city's relentless pulse. The streets are alive with honking taxis, flashing signs, and footsteps that never pause. It's a thrill she used to chase, but now it feels like she's running just to keep up, her breath caught somewhere she can't find. So one crisp Friday evening, as the sun sinks low and spills gold across the skyscrapers, Clara makes a choice. She doesn't overthink it, she just grabs her keys, throws a worn wool scarf and a thermos of tea into her old blue Jeep and drives. No map, no plan, just a quiet pull in her chest guiding her north. The highway stretches out like a river, carrying her away from the concrete jungle. The towers fade, replaced by open fields, then dense pines, and finally the faint, briny kiss of the sea. She's heading to Silver Cove, a tucked-away stretch of coast in Maine, a place she heard about once in a story. A hidden gem where the cliffs meet the ocean in a dance of stone and foam, where the world feels untouched. It's well past dusk when she arrives, the sky a deep indigo quilt sewn with stars. She parks along a grassy bluff overlooking the beach, steps out and lets the night wrap around her. The air is cool, sharp with salt and the wild scent of kelp, so different from the city's stale hum of exhaust and coffee. She kicks off her boots, feeling the sand, cool now but soft as a sigh, cradle her feet. The waves roll in a slow, deep rhythm that seems to hum through the earth itself. And then she sees it, the moon. Oh, that moon. It rises over the Atlantic, impossibly round and radiant, a silver pearl glowing brighter than she's ever known. It hangs low, painting a shimmering path across the water, like a bridge between her and something vast, something eternal. Clara wanders down to the shore, finding a smooth driftwood log to sit on, its surface worn soft by years of tides. She pulls her scarf tighter, the wool warm against her neck, and breathes in the night. The wind sings through the cliffs, a low, haunting melody that weaves through the grasses and dances over the waves. The sea whispers, its voice a steady hush that rises and falls like a lullaby. The sky above is endless, a velvet expanse where stars flicker like tiny lanterns. She tilts her head back and murmurs, "Hey moon, you're something else tonight." It's a small thing speaking to the sky, but out here with only the sea and stars as witnesses, it feels like the most natural thing in the world. The moonlight spills over her, soft as a caress, and she feels it, like the moon's listening, its glow a quiet nod. "You must see everything from up there," she says, her voice blending with the waves. "All the rushing, all the noise. I bet you never get tired, do you? Just shining night after night, no matter what." The wind brushes her cheek, cool and gentle, and she imagines it's the moon's reply, a silvery chuckle carried across the cove. She smiles, settling deeper into the moment. "I'm tired though. The city's so loud, so fast. I love my job, but it's like I'm pouring everything into it and I don't know what's left for me." The waves answer, their rhythm steady and sure, each one rolling in and slipping away as if to say, "You don't have to carry it all." The sound is a balm, the sea's deep murmur, the wind's soft hum, the faint rustle of sand shifting in the breeze. It's a chorus of quiet, wrapping her in a cocoon of calm. She closes her eyes, letting it sink in, and feels the knot in her chest begin to loosen. "You're good company, moon," she whispers. "Better than most. You don't ask for anything, do you? Just glow." The light seems to brighten, or maybe it's just her heart noticing, and a memory drifts up, gentle as sea foam. She's 6 years old, barefoot on a grassy hill in upstate New York, holding her grandmother's hand. It's summer, the air alive with crickets and the sweet smell of clover. Grandma's gray braid swings as she points to the sky. "Look, Clara B," she says, her voice warm as a quilt. "That moon's been watching over us since I was your age. It's got stories older than the stars, and it never forgets a single one." They'd sit on a checkered blanket, sipping lemonade, making up tales about the moon's adventures. How it sailed with the whales, how it whispered to the owls. Grandma's laugh was like bells, and her hands smelled of lavender and mint, always steady when they held Clara's. Back on the beach, Clara opens her eyes, the ache of missing her grandmother soft but real. "She'd be right here with me, wouldn't she?" she says to the moon. "She'd say you're showing off tonight, all big and bright like that. Probably tell me to stop worrying and just listen to the sea." The wind swirls, tender against her skin, and it feels like Grandma's touch, light as a feather. "I miss her so much," she admits, her voice barely above the waves. "She always knew how to make things okay. Work's been eating me up, moon. I'm good at it, I think, but it's like I'm running on empty and I don't know how to fill back up." The moon stays silent, but its light feels like an embrace. Steady, unchanging, a quiet promise that it's seen her grandmother, seen every night they spent together, and it's still here, holding those moments safe. The waves roll on, each one smoothing the edges of her thoughts, and the wind hums a melody that feels ancient, like it's been sung for centuries. She breathes with it, slow and deep, and the world feels softer, the worries smaller. Maybe you're telling me it's okay to slow down, she says. Grandma would have said that too. Clara B., you don't have to solve the world tonight. She sits there letting the night unfold. The sea's voice is a constant, a deep, rolling hush that carries away the noise of deadlines and doubts. The wind weaves through the air, now sharp with salt, now sweet with the scent of distant pines. The sky stretches wide, its stars twinkling like they're whispering secrets to each other. Clara talks to the moon about everything and nothing. How she nailed a big project last month but felt empty after, how she spilled coffee on her sketchbook yesterday, how she's been dreaming of oceans and blues she can't quite name. The moon listens, its glow a steady friend, and the cove holds her close. It sounds a tapestry of peace. Another memory rises, this one sharper. She's 10, camping with Grandma by a lake, the moon reflected in the still water like a twin. They'd walked to the shore, just the two of them, and Grandma had given her a tiny silver pendant shaped like a crescent. "Keep this, Clara B.," she'd said. "It's a piece of the moon, to remind you it's always with you even when I'm not." Clara reaches under her scarf, her fingers finding the pendant she still wears. It's warm from her skin and she holds it tight, tears pricking her eyes. "You knew, didn't you?" she whispers. "You knew I'd need this someday." The wind curls around her, soft as a sigh, and the waves seem to nod, their rhythm a heartbeat she can lean into. "I'm trying, Grandma," she says. "Trying to make you proud, to keep that spark you always saw in me. But it's hard sometimes." The moon's light bathes the cove, turning the sand to silver, and it feels like an answer. Not words, but a presence, a quiet assurance that she's enough, just as she is. The night stretches on, and Clara keeps talking, her voice a thread woven into the cove's song. She tells the moon about her fears, of burning out, of losing herself in the city's rush. She tells it about her hopes, to create something lasting, to find balance, to feel that spark again. The sounds of Silver Cove carry her words away. The waves' endless dance, the wind's murmured secrets, the faint cry of a loon across the water. It's a symphony of stillness, hallowed and healing, and with every breath she feels lighter, like the tides washing away the weight she brought. The moon watches, its glow a lighthouse in the dark, guiding her back to herself. She thinks of Grandma's stories, how the moon was a keeper of dreams, a friend to anyone who needed one. "You're doing a good job," she tells it, smiling. Grandma would approve. Hours pass, though time feels different here, fluid like the sea. The air grows colder, the stars brighter, and Clara knows it's time to go. She stands, brushing sand from her jeans, and looks up one last time. "Thank you, moon," she says. for listening, for being here. I'll come back, I promise. The light shimmers steady and kind, and she feels it, a quiet strength to carry back to the city. The drive home is calm, the road winding under a sky still bright with stars. When she slips into bed, the echo of waves lingers in her ears, and the moon's glow dances behind her eyes. She's not fixed, not fully, but she's lighter, ready to face the rush with a piece of Silver Cove tucked in her heart.